mean, Leicester's kind of one of those clubs that I think consistently has been 3-4 years in the top flight, then maybe getting relegated for a year or two, getting themselves back up into the top flight. And so when I went to Leicester, they had been in the Premier League 2 years previously. They had come down, they'd come straight back up, and then I signed with the team, and there was an expectation that we were going to be relegated by Christmas. And that first year we finished in 8th place and won the League Cup. So, and then the next 2 years we ended up finishing in the top half of the league and got to another cup final. So I think there's been times when Leicester's been able to show that they've been able to compete in the Premier League, not get themselves always in a perennial relegation fight. But then at the same time, what they've done this year is just unprecedented. I mean, we had some great times at Leicester, some very, very good times at Leicester. But to think that even us, who I would say completely overachieved, wouldn't even have been close to competing for the title. So to think of what Leicester's doing this year, particularly after last year, they had to win like their last 4 or 5 games to even stay in the league. So they were really dead and buried, went on a great run, changed managers, and then have done what they've done. The only way I can explain it is somehow think of a AAA baseball team getting the chance to play in Major League Baseball and winning the World Series that year. Well, it's a blip because Leicester's never won ever in the history of their club the highest level of English football. So to think that you can do it nowadays, when Man City a couple years ago surpassed the New York Yankees as the highest yearly payroll of players. So to think of what, and the Yankees don't win it every year. So to think that a team are being able to spend the way that they spend, or Leicester probably on an eighth of what Man City spends, or what Man U spends, or what Chelsea, or the list goes on, and to be able to not only compete but to be favorite for the title is, like I said, it's unprecedented. I think the Big Four, and I don't even know if I think now it's like almost like the Big Six, and I think Spurs are sliding into that category. I think Liverpool will be back in there. Man U, obviously. Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man U. I mean, those are big clubs with big payrolls. And to think, once again, of what Leicester have been able to do is unbelievable. But to think that it'll happen again, I would. And once again, I hope I'm wrong. I thought that Claudio Ranieri, the manager of Leicester, was going to be the first manager fired this year. So obviously I got that one wrong. They're still probably in the back of their mind thinking the next year we need 40 points to stay in the league. That has to be, again, goal number one with a club like Leicester, which is hard to say, because you can't automatically think all of a sudden we've had this great season and now we're the new Manchester United. It just doesn't work that way.